Okay. Construction management. In the last class, we discussed about all variety of components related to construction management. Today, we'll be dealing with the first module, where the concept of what is construction management, principles of management, contribution by the eminent personalities towards the growth of management thoughts. Next, significance of construction management, objectives and functions of construction management, resources required for the construction. These points will be covering in the first module. We are coming to the definition of engineering first. Principles of management practices. Under that, we'll be defining what is engineering, and then we'll be defining what is management, and then we'll be defining what is construction management. First thing is of engineering is the profession in which the knowledge of mathematical and natural science gained by study, experience and practice is applied with judgment to develop a way to utilize economically the materials and force of nature for the benefit of mankind, where the engineering is in short is definition of using the knowledge which will be gaining from various resources, that is mathematical concepts, natural science, will be gained, and it is enhanced by study, experiments and practice, and then applying this experience and the practice of this knowledge in a judgmental way to develop the whatever the resources are available with us in an economical manner, the materials and the force available naturally, that may be of human resource, that may be of any kind of resources which are available for the benefit of mankind only. This is of the simple definition which is of engineering. Next is of what all the types of engineerings are there. Briefly it is given. There are variety of engineering branches which will be development of technology, where we'll be dealing with various branches of engineering like agricultural, architectural, bioengineering, biomedicals, ceramic, chemical, civil, computer, electronics, electrical, environmental. Likewise, n number of engineering branches are there. Nowadays, the number of branches has been increased like anything, depends on what type of specialization the engineers are required. These are all the types of engineering components: fire protection, industrial, manufacturing, machine, metallurgy and materials, mineral, mining, nuclear, ocean, transport, structural, geotechnical. In our core branch only, if you are saying a number of varieties are there. Like this variety of engineers, the variety of engineering branches are defined for various technology developments. Coming to management, the word management is an old French word which is of management, the art of conducting or directing. This is the meaning of the French word, the art of conducting and directing or handling in generally. In the Latin, the menu agere is to lead by the hand. Using these terminologies, the management word has been discovered, and the management is defined as they characterized the process of leading and directing all are part of an organization, often a business, through the deployment and manipulation of resources. The resources may be of human, financial aspects, material, intellectual resources, and intangible resources, where the resources will be deployed to particular job and which is manipulated as per the requirement of completing the particular project. This is the process of management, where the areas of management are the change management, communication management, constraint management, cost management, crisis management, customer relationship management. These all generalized terms are there for variety of management. Earned value management, engineering management, enterprise management, facility integration, knowledge. These are the areas of management. Likewise, the marketing management, micromanagement, fin management, perception management, procurement management, program management, project management, and process management. Likewise, it depends upon where you are going to use, the management parts are segregated. Product management, quality, resource, risk, quality, skill, spend, supply chain, system management, time management, stress management. These all terms you might have heard in various components of the natural processes. Or if you are reading any books, this term will be of used. Next, engineering management, which we'll be using for our syllabus. Now, of course, syllabus will start. The engineering management, where the engineering management is a specialized form of management compared to all other various areas of management concerned with the application in the engineering, which is used in the engineering only. As a result of the risk management, unique personalities and technical nature of engineering will be evolved. Engineering management refer to the functional management of technical professionals, where the engineering management is involved with the technical persons, are the engineers, are skilled laborers, are the trained laborers, are trained people will be involved in the engineering management, which refer to the functional or always working management with the technical professionals. Example, the area of engineering are product development. Some of the examples are given with respect to the different areas involved in the engineering components. Where one is of the product development, manufacturing construction, design engineers, industrial engineers, technology, production, or any other field that employs personnels who perform an engineering function. कोई भी किसी को भी हम लोग एम्प्लॉय करते हैं, वो लोग अगर इंजीनियरिंग की काम करते हैं, that may be in the form of development, that may be manufacturing of any components in the industries, that may be construction, that may be design engineering, that may be in the civil engineering aspects, that may be in the mechanical engineering aspects, that may be in the other branch of engineering, industrial engineering. Likewise, wherever technology is used in the engineering process, wherever people are involved to execute the technical aspects in the engineering. Those areas will be called as the engineering management areas, where the engineering management is a required area, where engineering peoples are involved, who are executing the technical aspects with various components of their job that may be of various varieties. Then areas of management. Successful engineer managers. Initially, the engineer job was only for the technical aspects. Nowadays, it becomes who is good in the managerial skills, especially civil वालों को तो ज़्यादा चाहिए managerial skills, not only the technical skills, where you need to manage your higher authorities as well as lower authorities. That is what the successful engineering managers typically require training and experience in the business and engineering. Both the way, he need experience as well as training. That is to execute your technical aspects as well as to manage the surrounding people or surrounding aspects of your business. If you are very sound in engineering knowledge and you don't know how to manage the people around you, then it is not a successful engineer. You are fit for 9 to 5 job, where whatever work is assigned, that work you will be executing and handovering it to the other authorities. There will be no much growth for only the technical aspects. If you are very much good at only one thing, or if you are only good at the managing things and you are not having the technical skills, there also you will be lagging for the growth of the engineering aspects, where the combination of the knowledge as well as the managerial skills or the technical skills and managerial skills will give you the successful engineers. So you must know how to transfer your technical knowledge into the business aspects. Lastly, the engineering manages engineers who are driven by non-entrepreneurial thinking, thus requires necessary people skill to coach, mentor, and motivate technical professionals. This is like इंजीनियर्स को कौन लीड करता है आजकल? The managers in the projects. That he may be of technical manager, he may be of non-technical manager. In each and every industry nowadays, it becomes the practice for each and every project, a manager will be appointed, who will be monitoring each and everything. He will be having no knowledge about the project, but he will be managing things. He knows how to manage things for execution of a project. He knows only outline. He'll be not knowing the detail of the project. He'll be not knowing the technical aspects of the project, but he'll be managing things. That is what it is needed. Who will do such things? That is, who are exceptionally thinking for entrepreneurship or entrepreneurial, who will be thinking to create their own world, or who is having skills of managing the engineers. Those can only manage the engineers. It is written as the engineering managers manages the engineers. अगर इंजीनियरिंग कंप्लीट करके सिर्फ मेरे पास टेक्निकल स्किल है, मैं कोई कंपनी में जाता हूं, तुम्हारे ऊपर एक मैनेजर आएगा, वो will be of engineering manager and he will be having the growth. If you are two people are joining at a time in a company, one is having only technical skill and one is having technical skills plus the managerial skills, the growth for the engineering manager will be very much high. Will be managing engineers, will be collecting every data data from each and everyone and clubbing it together and presenting it to the higher authorities in the proper manner. Those will be leading the engineers. And it is required for each and every engineer to be coached by someone to gain such skills or to have the mentor and motivate technical professionals as motivate yourself for the technical development. जब तक तुम लोग खुद से कुछ इनिशिएटिव लेंगे नहीं तब तक कोई ऊपर से आके कितना भी फीड करे कुछ नहीं होने वाला. It is the inbuilt. You should prepare yourself for the learning more things and learning the more skills and to be a professional by yourself by taking inputs from various resources that may be of a coach or mentor or motivational talks or professional contacts. You can improve your knowledge by all these criteria. Until unless you yourself motivate or you will not initiate yourself to learn the skills, you will be not a good engineer or the managerial engineer. So it is necessary to motivate yourself to go around, learn things and to become a successful engineer. Not only the technical aspects. Nowadays, it is become mandatory to each and every engineers to learn the managerial skills. That is why this type of subjects have been introduced in your syllabus. Otherwise, would have added some advanced structural analysis, advanced design aspects. Likewise, some subject might have been added. But nowadays, the management skills in the engineers became very much important. Okay. Next, evolution of management thoughts by various approaches. One is of approach in the classical manner. Classical कैसे improve हुआ management. Then behavioral approach, quantitative approach, modern approaches to the management. Whereas various eminent personalities in this management skills have defined the management, the construction management in various aspects, or engineering management into various definitions. And it is evolved not only from one thing, it has been evolving in various varieties. By classical. Classical is of your generalized, how your history has been evolved. Likewise, the components have been evolved in the management and the development is shown for the construction management, and then it is modern management technologies have been used. First one will be dealing with the classical approach, who have been defining the classical approach and how the classification has been done for this type of approaches. The major classification of management approaches and their contribution by the eminent personalities, where this is most commonly asked question in your end semester exam also, where write the major contribution are approaches by eminent personalities in the construction management or in the management. First one is of classical approach. In that, again, it is divided into three parts, that is of scientific management, bureaucratical management, and administrative management. Scientific management have been developed by an eminent personality, not only one, there are three eminent personalities which have been defining the scientific management. One is of Frederick Taylor, Frank and Lilin, and Henry Gantt. These names will be using in our upcoming classes also for various their contribution for the development in the construction management and techniques what they have developed for the construction management. They have developed some of the charts, some of the tables, which will be referred for solving your some of the numericals also. Like Henry Gantt has prepared some of the charts which will be using for development of the event management. Next is of bureaucratical management, where Max Weber has defined the bureaucratic, how the bureaucratic can be evolved, how the standardization in the management can be done, how the organization can be formed in the bureaucrat, and a bunch of people is involved for the development of the bureaucrat, where he has explained how the people should be involved, how the process should start, and how the actions will be taken in the bureaucratical management. Next is of administrative approvals or administrative management. Henry Powell has given the base of the management, where how the administrative should work for any management organization, how the management is work, and depends upon policies how employees can be controlled in any project. The Henry Fell has given 14 principles. Those are the basics of the management. Those principles are the best rules, are the base of the management, which are till today it is used and which has been accepted by universe. This is universally accepted principles of management for the administrative management. He has given 14 principles, and those 14 principles are most important principles of the construction management. We'll be dealing with the Henry Fell's principles also. Next is of second bit approach is of behavioral approach, where again it is divided into subcategories of behavioral approach by different eminent personalities. That is group influences. The Mary Parker has defined how the group influence the management, like mob, how if group studies can be improved for the knowledge, how the management can be not only lead by the one person, how the group people can improve the organization, how the knowledge sharing will improve. Always second opinion is better for any management. That is why he has given some group influences for the management. He never said to the manager should be fun or the management should be of fun. It should have a group of people who can contribute their knowledge for the development of the same organization, which will be dealing. And next is of Hawthorne studies given by the Halton Mayo. Next is of Maslow's need theory. Abraham Maslow has defined the theory which will be dealing theory of X and theory of Y, which is defined by McGregor, where this type of theories which have been developed by various eminent personalities have been introduced in the management for the development. Quantitative approaches have been divided into management science, management, management information system, and which have been defined by various people in various categories. The quantitative approaches, which is not defined by single person, which is evolved by group of people, group of area, different people have evolved the quantitative approaches, and which has been following for the separate rules and regulation for particular area, region, and countries. It's not common throughout the universe, right? The management science, the operations, and management information systems can be used for the development of quantitative approach. Like it is not of one production or one unit production. It is multiple productions, multiple developments, multiple manufacturing. In such cases, how the quantity can be improved, how you can improve the number of activities. Those will be of quantitative approach, and which is classified in categories, different categories, but which is defined by various resources. And it's not particular by the one or two scientists or eminent personalities. It has been defined by various people in various areas. That is why I have not added the names over here, because if you are presenting one or two names for a particular management bit, that is in the quantity approaches, it is not okay. Why? Because some of theories are used by the regular practices, some of theories are introduced by various companies. This is varies from region to region, or part to part of the country, or country to country, where the managerial skills in the quantitative manner has evolved by the systems, and which is segregated into the management science. Wherever science is involved, wherever technology is involved, the management science is used. Operations management, where the operations are involved in any industry, where a number of activities are going on, or like your one factory, if you are finding out, and organization management, if you are seeing, or operation management, if you are seeing, some people will be operating some of the components, some other people will be operating some other component of the production. Not each and everyone will be having the uniform work. Likewise, the operation management, how to manage those things, have been evolved by the practice of the individual organizations. And management information system, MIS, not your college MIS. This is also, college MIS is also a management component, where will be managing, how will be managing by using the MIS. Just for example, your college MIS only, if you are saying, each and every information is available on the MIS, like your personal details, your professional details, like your how much is attendance, how many classes you have attended, what is your name, what is your parents' name, what is your contact number, what is your past results, what is your present results, all the components. As it is also being added, like what is your conversation with your mentor, what is your problems, what you are overcoming, everything can be added in the MIS. You can give feedback to the faculty, you can give feedbacks to any other component in the college by using the MIS. It is nothing but a system which is giving information to lower bodies as well as higher bodies. That MIS system can be used by you people also, it can be used by us also, it can be used by the chairman of the college also, which is giving same information to all the components of the organization. That is from student to the chairman, in between principal, faculties, HODs, each and everyone can see what is the growth in the organization. In the same manner, in industries also, some of the systems will be developed. Like our MIS only are, likewise, some systems will be there. Some softwares will be used, which will be giving idea of each and everything about your project. That is, how much is work is done, site in charge will feed what is the progress of the project in that system, and the progress can be seen by the chairman of that company also, or the project manager, site manager, the all the technical bodies involved in one organization. In the same manner, how this MIS works in the college, in the same manner, the management information system will be adopted in all the components of the industries also. It is the need of the industries to pass the simplified message to each and everyone. Whenever it is required for the higher end or for the lower end, some information is required. Mean every time they can come in one place and discuss about the topics, or share the knowledge, or share the whatever data is required for both of them. If a system is developed in such a way that whatever input, whatever progress is done that day, they are uploading and the required people can see it. And anytime they can see it, anywhere they can see it. Depends upon the visibility of the project. That is how the management information systems will be developed. Not only one component. This is an example of our MIS only. How the management softwares or the technologies will be used for the managing things. अगर तुम लोगों का अटेंडेंस कम हुआ है, वो अपने को पता चलता है कहाँ से, MIS से. Will take action against it. अगर किसी का more than 90% है, उनको कितना grade देना है, that will be depends upon again MIS. How you are maintaining your attendance depends upon that will be giving. अगर एग्जाम सेल में किसी को कुछ फॉर्म नहीं भरा, किसी का कुछ इश्यू आया, तो उसको कॉन्टैक्ट नंबर चाहिए, तो वो सीधा तुम्हारे घर आके तो नहीं बात कर सकते. That is why the system is developed. Through that, they can find your number or your contact details. They can contact you by phone, by email, or by your address. That can be done from this type of structures. Or from for principal, some reason they want to contact you. Principal search and then you can contact. All the bodies involved in one organization can pass the message very simplified way. It is to pass message from one end to another end. The management information system will be developed in the each and every organization of this management. Okay. Next is of what is management information might be clear to everyone when it is applicable to each and everything. Next, modern approaches. The system theory, how the systems are developed, that will be dealing in the upcoming content. Contingency theory, how the unexpected things may come in the project and how to tackle with those unexpected things in the project management. That is of contingency theory. What is contingency has been defined in the previous subject also. Next is of emerging approaches. That is theory of X, the theory of Z and quality management. This has been theory of Z can be said as it is Williams-Auchi theory also, where he has defined a specific theory which is applicable for the quality management or QA/QC management in the projects. He has defined how to manage the quality of the project. He has been giving ideas of various quality in the projects. Williams-Auchi has defined the theory of Z. Okay, these are some of the techniques. the improvements in the management in various aspects. Next is of scientific management, where the past management, which we have defined in the previous bit, that is of scientific management in the classical approach, where the process, methods, and the procedures are not based on traditional thumb rules, but they are carefully planned and analyzed for productivity and to improve economic efficiency also. You cannot go for only the traditional thumb rules because it is a classical evolution of the management. Classical mean it is from the roots of our traditional thumb rules, which is nowadays it is being evolved and it is redefined for the development in the management, and which is the process where the methods and the procedures are not only based on the thumb rules, but also you should be careful about planned and analyzed for productivity if it is industry or the construction to improve the economic efficiency of the project. You cannot say, uh, if you hear to any ancestors, grandparents, or people like the olden days, they used to say unnecessarily a construction used to be there in various buildings to elevate your structure in one part, wherever some people used to ask for the vastus and all. And depends upon vastus, they used to build unnecessary columns, which is above your structure, to just to elevate, just to show that your growth is there in that particular vastu only. maybe एक बिल्डिंग में ऊपर टेरेस पे एक कॉलम्स रहते थे, या कुछ part of the building used to be at the higher levels compared to your other all building elevations, just to show that or just to believe that the vastu is in that place is more good. If you are rising the component of the building in that place, your development will be more. Such beliefs will be there. Our traditional thumb rules will be there. When you are thinking about your economy and the look of the building, that sometimes it may be of not effective also. That is why not only in such component, in various structures, various traditional rules will be there for the constructions. Some people may say that the construction in one place will be not good. Some people will say that that place is not good for construction or execution for staying. Likewise, n number of concepts will come from n number of people by the traditional rules. But being an engineer management, you should plan and analyze for the best productivity to improve your economy, not believing on only the thumb rules. The aim of scientific management is to organize and to execute the work with maximum productivity from the each resources. हमारे पास n number of resources है, उससे हम लोगों को काम कैसे करवाना है. That is organizing things. Organizing and execute your work with the maximum productivity from the available resources. मेरे पास 10 लोग हैं, 10 लोगों का एक दिन का 8 घंटे का काम लेना है, तो 8 घंटा पूरा काम करके मेरे को मैक्सिमम प्रोडक्टिविटी मिलना चाहिए. 8 घंटा पूरा काम करके मेरे को आधा काम हो रहा है या एक्सपेक्टेड वर्क नहीं हो रहा है, then somewhere the management of those 10 people is not going well. You should get the maximum productivity from the available resources. and this has been defined by different people, that is of the Taylor, Foyle, and Mayo in their experience of 1856 to 1915, 1925, and 1949. These people have defined the scientific management as per this concepts. Next comes the Henry Foyle's principles of management. This is the most important component of your syllabus also. And most time it will be asked, and this will be your first assignment, first question also. The Henry Foyle's principles of management. This is a important component in your syllabus where we'll be dealing with the 14 principles and where it is applicable, how it is applicable, that will be depends upon the all the management skills. Okay. Henry Foyle, a French industrialist, offered 14 principles of management for the first time in 1960. Foyle develops theory of management into the various aspects, and he has defined the theories and principles of management which are universally accepted and make him universalistic. These 14 principles have been accepted by the universe or by all the managers in the universe, and these principles have been made as the universalistic manager for Henry Foyle. Our theories has been set as the principles of management. The Foyle's principles of management meet the requirement of modern management also, where nowadays also nobody can overrule the 14 principles of Foyle's. He has defined in such a way that the modern management also agrees for the Foyle's 14 principles. During the period of 1920 to 1940, the US, many authors did hard work in developing and testing the various principles of management. And they have accepted this 14 principles after the various testing on this various principles of Henry Foyle. And those principles have been defined as follows. The Foyle's developed 14 principles. According to him, these principles can be applied in all types, functions, levels, and size of organizations. This is not only applicable for the one variety of the program or one variety of the organization. It is applicable for each and every organization which is exist in the universe for the management aspects. This is simplified 14 principles which will be applicable to each and every component of the organizations. For each organization, if they are following these 14 principles, then they will be a successful organization, or it will be a successful manager or successful engineer for any companies or any organizations. First principle is of division of work. Division of work, name itself indicates, you need to divide the work. अकेले से नहीं होगा, उसको डिवाइड करो, या एक ही दिन में नहीं होगा, उसको डिवाइड करो. Involve people and get it done. Or in one project, there will be a number of components. You cannot do all together. You can divide it in separate forms, and one by one you can complete. That is what the division of work, simplified naming. or it can be defined as per entry files as this is the principle of specialization which applies to all kind of work. The more people specialize, the more efficiently they can perform in their work. Specialization increases the output by making employees more efficient. If you are employing various people in one job, which are having their specialized areas, they can deliver this the work in a very efficient way or to give the maximum productivity for the particular job. That is what the division of work implies. Next is of the authority and responsibility. According to Foyle, responsibility is a scholarly and a naturally sequences of the authority. The consequence of the authority. The responsibility implies an obligation to perform the task in the satisfactory manner. Responsibility नहीं तो कोई काम नहीं. According to Poyle, the responsibility is a scholarly. That is implies to a employee or the worker or the person who is executing that project. It is scholarly, or it is a responsibility, or it is a owning that activity by a particular person. And natural consequences of authority. Consequence will come from the authorities to execute particular job for a particular person. If he is owning it, then he will do it with the responsibility, or he is doing it with a passion on that particular job. Then only it can be executed for the particular work. If you are not interested to complete engineering, and if being a teacher, somebody is imposing particular job to be completed in particular duration. If you are not interested from your end, you are not owning it from your end, you'll be not doing it. Unless you own, unless you feel that this work is made for me to complete particular aspects, then only this can be achieved. So it is responsibility taken by particular authorities as well as by the particular people involved in the project is important. Then only the components will be solved easily. As also it is implies an obligation to perform the task in a satisfactory manner. The person who is doing work is not satisfied with the job what he is getting, then he will be not taking the responsibility that create obligation in your task. Then if the obligation is there or the opposition is there from the people who is not taking the responsibility, then carelessly they will be doing, and the satisfactory work may come or may not come because he will be not taking it responsible work, and he'll be taking it lightly or she'll be taking it lightly, then the work will be delayed or it will be not following the standards. That is one of the important component in the principles. Next is of discipline. Good discipline is a result of effective leadership. A clear understanding between management and the worker regarding the organization rules and the judicious use of penalties for violation of the rules is important. Discipline in any organization is important. The discipline should be maintained by the first leaders and then it goes to the followers. That is, the effective leadership is clear understanding between management and workers. Regarding the organization rules, if somebody is violating those rules or who is not following the rules of particular organization is working under the same head, then what is the penalties they have to take? That has to be very clear. Then only the discipline will be followed. Otherwise, the discipline will be not there in the organization. Mean there will be random approach towards the work. That should not be there in the any organization to complete your project or to look good in the project productivity and efficient works. The discipline is the most important component for leaders as well as for the workers who are involved in execution of any projects. Whereas some of the companies will be doing some particular rules and regulations. Like discipline is like कोई भी कंस्ट्रक्शन साइट पे आप लोग जाओगे, कुछ लोग रूल्स रेगुलेशन को फॉलो करते हैं, कुछ लोग नहीं करते. If you are going for some standardized company execution sites, they'll be compulsorily making you to wear helmets, shoes, guards, jackets for identifying the people and where to go, where not to go. The clear cut direction will be there. That is what discipline will be maintained in the some of the organization. Some of the organization who are not maintaining all the rules in the construction activities, they'll be following some of the accidents. They are leading for the accidents. If the management is not taking care of this disciplines, then workers may or may not follow these rules, and it may leads to various accidents that may give various violations in the rules. Because of violation, again, the management has to be give the contingency values to the workers, or sometimes workers may not follow the rules and regulations. They will be paying the extra penalties for the owners. It's mutual. If the owners or leaders or the management team is taking care of the rules and regulations, then the penalties will be very less. If even though the rules and regulations are there and the workers are not following or the people involved in the project are not working as per the discipline, then the company can take any action against those people as per the rules and regulations of the company. That is why the discipline in each and every organization is maintained. Okay, even though if you are coming into the college, there are some rules. You should be in time, you should be wearing eye card, you should be wearing particular dress code for particular events or particular, if you are going for interview, there should be a dress code, there should be discipline which is of how it should look, how the certificates has to be organized. Those are all the discipline components which will be followed if you are good discipline. और अगर घर में भी कोई भी कुछ भी कंपोनेंट किधर भी फेंकोगे, नेक्स्ट डे तुम लोग एक जगह पे बैठ के स्टडी करने जाओगे तो कुछ मिलता नहीं. If you are not disciplined, that is why the discipline in each component or each activity is necessary. And if you are disciplined, automatically the things will fall in line. Okay, we'll be ending our class here only. We'll continue the next principles in the next class. For now, it is it. And again, we are having class at 1 o'clock, I think. There will be continuing remaining principles. Now we are done with 4 principles. 3 principles, okay. 11 principles will be dealing in the 1 o'clock. Okay, you can post your roll number and can leave.